Hello, this is Andrew Josephs, and I will be explaining BMW's corporate strategy. BMW is a German car and motorcycle manufacturer. The company was founded in the early 1900s to provide warplane engines for Germany. It was a very humble beginning, but since then, BMW has transformed into the leading premium car maker in the world. The company has had very capable leaders that have implemented creative and competent strategy. To be the leader of BMW, the CEO needs to be equally skilled in design and sales. The CEO needs to be able to design the cars to be very luxurious but not sacrifice any performance. And he also needs to be the leader of the sales team in order to give the salespeople the best position to sell. There's always going to be reasons that people are trying to not buy the car, and the salespeople need every tool possible to overcome that. Stefan Quandt, who owns 50% of the shares with his sister, has these abilities, and he's currently the head of the board of directors and in position to be the future CEO. BMW has corporate brand partnerships with Rolls-Royce, Intel, and Louis Vuitton. BMW purchased Rolls-Royce in 1999 to give their brand association with premium upper-class products. This was perfect because it gave them the very high upper echelon cars, but they were able to keep their lower brands more affordable for people who couldn't, afford that. When the i8 electric vehicle was released, it was accompanied by an exclusive set of Louis Vuitton luggage. Now, initially, people thought Louis Vuitton, BMW, that's a weird corporate partnership. But really, they have the same brand characteristics of masculinity, helping people travel, great craftsmanship. So it worked out well, and the Louis Vuitton luggage fit perfectly in the i8, and people associated, these premium brands together. So it was really great strategy. The partnership with Intel is really exciting. It's ongoing and it's poised to yield big returns. BMW and Intel are working on fully autonomous car, so self-driving cars, and that's slated to be ready by 2021. One of the problems with BMW is that they need to diversify their executive leadership and their board of directors. All the executives are white and they're all from Germany. Only 3 of the leaders had distinguished careers outside of BMW, so they haven't been exposed to the other strategies and approaches that other organizations take that they could then use at BMW. They need to hire outside talent, including more women, as only 1 out of the 8 executives are women, and like I mentioned, none are people of color, so they won't be able to relate to them as much and capture that target market. BMW's biggest threat comes from Uber and other ride-sharing applications. We've all pulled out our cell phone, ordered an Uber. These applications have already hurt sales and are becoming more prevalent as more people get smartphones and move to urban centers. The company needs to form a new corporate partnership with Uber by offering discounts to their drivers. In addition, BMW needs to increase their research on the I-series of electric cars because they're to make them more affordable and environmentally friendly. BMW overall is an impressive and well-run company, and if it follows these suggestions, it will continue to thrive. The mission statement of BMW is to be the world's leading provider of premium products and premium service for individual mobility. Now, if you notice, premium is highlighted there. It's the only word that's said twice, and that's good because then if any of the internal employees or any outside investors, they look at the mission statement, they know what BMW is about, that it's top of the line, premium quality. It's gonna cost more, but it's gonna be worth it because it's gonna be a great vehicle. Get into a little more of the corporate governance. Like I said, 8-person executive leadership team. Only 3 of them had experience outside of BMW for other car manufacturers. Now, the rest of the people, they all earned their stripes. They worked their way up through the BMW corporate ladder, and they're considered experts in their field, which is great. But it's, like I said before, it's good to get some outside influences in order to, just get different opinions and how other things worked well at other places. Now we'll get into the SWOT analysis. I think it's pretty interesting. BMW's strength is that it's one of the most well-known and respected automakers in the world. They've been producing great cars for 70 years, and people have positive brand associations. Investment in research and development has allowed BMW to constantly innovate and change. They also have clever advertising, superior product, and it's positioned them as a premium brand. New segments such as the Mini Coupes and the I-Series have allowed the company to diversify and get into new target markets. The weakness one of the weaknesses. In 2017, they had a recall over 230,000 vehicles for airbag malfunctions. Now, of course, with cars, safety is number one. It could be the best car in the world, but if it's not safe, people aren't going to buy it. So it wasn't a huge recall compared to the Takata airbag one that a lot of companies had, but it was still really bad for the brand, bad for business, bad for branding. Some of the industry opportunities is the improving technology of electric and self-driving cars, and this will allow BMW to continue to grow. They currently have the two models that I mentioned before, the i3 and the i8, that are plug-in hybrid electrics. In 2015, they sold nearly 30,000 electric vehicles, which is 66% more than the previous year. While that's expanding, it's still only a tiny part of overall sales, so they need to continue to focus on that, including making a cheaper electric model, which I would like to be called the i1, hopefully around $25,000 price range. Another macro opportunity is that bringing a car into development is a very long process. You have to build a factory. It's many, many years of capital investment. And a lot of these cycles are ending at the end of this decade. So it'll be good because BMW will be able to bring out new lines. The biggest industry threat is the proliferation of car sharing businesses, such as Zipcar, Relay Rides, and Uber. Like I mentioned, Uber is a mobile ride sharing application through your cell phone. Also, for the first time this year, more than 50% of the population lived in urban centers. Now, this is where Uber thrives, and it's also taking BMW's target demographic, because people in urban cities don't need to rely on cars as much. If they only have a couple rides to take every month, it's cheaper just to call an Uber. And also, with the prevalence of technology, teenagers, when they turn 16, they're not automatically getting their license. They don't see that as a need to continue their friendship. Now, to combat the increase in ride-sharing applications, BMW should form a new corporate partnership with Uber. They've had great success with their previous partnerships, and I think one with Uber would be really successful. What they could do is give a discount to Uber drivers and purchase the BMWs and use that as their car. People will get a great experience, and it would almost be like free marketing, a test drive. Oh, that was a great ride. That BMW is really smooth. When we want to get a car, they could look into that. I also think they should focus on the I-Series, building up their electric cars. That will keep the mileage up. And, if in the future it looks like autonomous cars are going to continue the growth, so they need to work on a fully autonomous car. And that's it for BMW. Hope you enjoyed listening.